Hi there, I'm Nancy Karen from Now We're Cooking. It's Tuesday, so it's time for tips, tricks, and treats. And because it's summer and because I have some family members who love lemons, I'm going to do two different lemon desserts. One I've already done and I'll just talk you through it, and the other I've got some finished and we're going to make some together. One is lemon brownies. I'm sure everybody's familiar with lemon bars, which have the shortbread crust and the lemon custard filling. Those are wonderful, but sometimes you want something faster than that, and that's where lemon brownies come into play. What I already have in my mixing bowl are a stick of butter and 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and I've beat them till they're light and fluffy. I'm gonna add lemon zest and I'm gonna add lemon juice, and I wanna show, I think most of you know how to zest a lemon. There are two kinds of lemon zesters. The one I prefer the most is a microplane, because you can do it this way or you can do it this way. I am much more familiar running the lemon across it than vice versa. What you're looking for when you zest something, the flavor is all in the colored part. You don't want the white part of an orange, lemon, lime, because then you start getting the bitterness. And there's so much flavor in lemon zest. It smells delightful when you're doing it, and it adds tremendous amount of flavor to your product. The reason that I like this type zester as opposed to the traditional 5-hole type is because this gives you nice little teeny pieces, and so in my brownies I won't have long strings of zest. So I've pretty much now made a naked lemon, and I can scrape my finger down the back and get all that's there, and I'm going to put this in with my butter and my sugar. And I also need, when I do the eggs, we're going to add a tablespoon of zest. So let me just stir this up a little bit. Mixer's a little noisy, but that's okay. This is not something I like to do by hand. That's what a mixer's for. So my eggs are at room temperature, and I'm going to add them one at a time and beat after each one. That's sort of a standard way to add eggs to something like this. So one goes in, mixer down, mixer on. And as soon as that's all incorporated, then I'll do the second one. And then I'll stop and do some scraping. Turn up this a little bit. And second one. Jump in there. And I am gonna get some things that have been stuck on the beater. Lemons are just such a summery, fun flavor. When you juice a lemon, a couple of things. If you have just zested this lemon, you want to, if you're not going to juice it, you want to wrap it real well in plastic wrap, because you've just taken off its skin and it will dry out and turn into a lemon rock. But I'm squeezing the lemon because I'm breaking up the insides a little bit. The more you can roll it around with your hand, roll it on the counter. I'm just squeezing it because that will help me yield more juice. I'm going to use a traditional lemon zester. There's a lot of different options out there. Use whichever one you like the most. This one, you put your lemon cut side down, bring the two sides together, and it effectively turns your lemon half inside out. But the seeds don't go through unless they're teeny tiny, and it just lets you create a lot of juice. I want a tablespoon of juice, and the reason I don't mind if there's way more than that is because the glaze also calls for lemon juice. So I'm going to beat that up a little bit. Calls for 3/4 of a cup of flour. This is just good old all-purpose flour. So what I want to do is I don't want to beat it tremendously when I add the flour. I just want to slowly incorporate it. You can do it with your rubber scraper, you can do it with the mixer. It calls for a ½ teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm just going to gently blend this together on a low speed. And then I'll go through it with my rubber scraper. Now the recipe originally called for an 8x8 pan. Well, if you have one, that's great. It's not the most common size anymore. When you sell one brand, still makes an 8x8. Most everybody makes a 9x9. And the difference in your recipe between an 8x8 and a 9x9 is, I don't even think you could tell. I did it both ways, and I really couldn't tell at all. So don't worry about, all I have is a 9x9. That's gonna be fine. So I wanna take my scraper and scrape everything down. I prepared the pan. I just sprayed it with cooking spray. If you want, you can line your pan with either parchment paper or foil, where you make a sling and overlap it so that you could take out the whole product later on and cut it in nice pretty little squares. I just said, I'm just gonna do it this way. So I want to stir through, make sure everything's incorporated, make sure there's no hidden pockets of flour or anything like that. It's a brownie batter, not a cake batter, so it's not super liquidy. And I'm just going to put it in my pan, my 9x9 pan. Bakes for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. That's the standard thing when you're baking something. It will brown a little bit. It doesn't get a lot taller, so it's not going to overflow your pan or anything like that. You let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then you glaze it. And the glaze is simply powdered sugar, lemon juice, and lemon zest. So real easy. You just stir those things up. Powdered sugar helps it dissolve. Is easier to dissolve than granular sugar. And then you just pour it over the top. It's not like an icing. It may or may not cover the whole pan. But that's all I need to do. So easy peasy. You can do them in a hurry. Probably you have all those things on hand. So I'll show you that finished product in a few minutes. But I was nosing around, and I have seen the term Syllabub over the years, mostly in books. That's what they had for dessert was Syllabub. So well, I'm looking up Syllabub and see what it is. Syllabub is basically a flavored whipped cream that you put either liqueur like sherry in, and lemon juice and sugar. It's, oh my gosh, we made some. So what I did was I 1.5 cups of whipping cream, 1/4 cup of sugar. If you're using a liqueur like sherry or something like that, you put in 2 tablespoons of sherry. You can also, you need an acid in there, so it could be vinegar, it could be lemon juice, it could be sherry. I used lemon juice for my acid portion, and then it also calls for the juice of a lemon and lemon zest. So you whip it all up until it forms stiff peaks. So when you lift your mixer up, when you lift your beater up, it forms a stiff peak. And then you put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is, it's reminiscent of like a soft serve ice cream or something, but it is just pure whipped cream and lemon. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So this would be a very light ending to your dessert. You know, if you had something heavier and you wanted just something fun and light, but I think it's something that I'm probably going to start doing more often because it's so easy. But I want to show you what the lemon bars look like. This is the last of the pan that we made in the 9x9. You can tell we liked them because there's not many left. And then these are what we made in the 8x8. The 8x8, the glaze did cover it a little better than the other did. But that was really, size-wise, I don't think you could tell. They say to cut them into 16 squares. That's between you and your knife. If you want bigger pieces, by all means do it. If you want smaller pieces, by all means do that. But there is a slight height differential between the 8x8 and 9x9, but I don't think anybody would say, yours is so much bigger than mine. So these are two fun lemon desserts that don't take anything too hard to find. You know, flour, sugar, lemons, whipping cream. I think those are things everybody could get. They're pretty quick to do, and they're just refreshing and delicious, which is what you want for the summertime. So that's our lemon desserts for the day. My mom and my great niece will be very, very happy because they are the lemon queens. They'll just be delighted that they're getting some of these things. So if you would like to make these, by all means do. I'll post the recipes tomorrow or tonight. If you want any supplies to make these, please stop by Now We're Cooking. We're at the northeast corner of Paseo in Wyoming. We are open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 4. We've got all kinds of things for your baking needs and your regular cooking needs. We're here to help you. We like to find out what you're doing and see if we can help you out. So please stop by. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye now.